fluctuate time. Each line intertwined in my mind. I'm mindless for the rest of the time, but you don't care about me. You didn't bring your ears here so you could hear about me. So let me stop and rewind. You could hear it in the echo of a midnight cry. I paint a picture for your inside eye. Some call it Uchat. Navigate the treacherous with ease. I write a poem on the edge of my sleeves to keep my roots hot. Poems wrapped around the curls of my head. Each curl an anchor holding down the world in my head. And if you don't think this is a poem, then I think that you're wrong. But don't worry, because I wrote another stanza for you. When it all comes crashing down, we rate like frozen drips to fall. Along with sweet stems of flowers that grew, I want a piece of the sky to chew, but I can't keep holding on. Oh, things you swore me. My shoes whisper from the depths of my closet, begging to be replaced, but need no replacement. I cannot let this world get in the way of who I am, nor determine who it is that I should be. I cannot let this world get in the way of who I am, nor determine who it is that I should be. I cannot let this world get in the way of who I am, nor determine who it is that I should be. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Parker, and I'm excited to welcome you here to one of our first Read Out Loud Google Hangouts, episode 1 for our open mic series. We're lucky to have you here with us today, and it's our hope to infect you with the art of spoken word and all things poemy. Each week we plan to air a live poem session coming from the minds and the mouths of a variety of talented poets. Speaking of poets, we have an amazing lineup for you today, and I'm excited to introduce our very first poet. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the word specialist, aka Power Dave, aka Mr. Talent, aka David Walker. Yeah.
Picture see a flicks to read a girl. We are the hipster beers, the art needers. No matter what it is, we the kids flexing mind waves, stretching fine brains. Let me ask, are you seeing at your third pane? You gotta let your eyes be intros. Every wrinkle in your brain is a window. We all know that poetry doesn't have to rhyme, but it's so hard for me to accept that. I'm so in love with words that seem to marry each other on page. I'm so in love with lines that flow together like two hippie lovers under a tree in the 70s, bodies mashed together. The passion that I have for words that can bind, and band together to form bombastic bars is unbelievable. There's something about how I feel when I hear a poem with lines loaded with words that click. I just want to sit with words that join together like there's some high school click and vibe out. It's so hard for me to write a poem that doesn't rhyme. I have a passion, and I think it's persuasive when words can be thrown at ears in pairs, stuck together. They can be spiced on a monologue. They can flavor up a stanza, making you want to hear it over and over and over again. I guess this is a love letter to my favorite type of poetry. This is a love letter to that poetry that is oh so beautiful, oh so elegant. The way you dance off my tongue and flow off my lips is what keeps me craving you. The way you infest my diction is what keeps me breathing. And as I keep breathing, I will keep reading you.
And up next, I would like you to please put your hands together for the magical, the mystical, the fantastic Jessica Bear!
7:59. I'll lose you to the cracks in the sidewalk and the curl of her lips and the indents of her hips. You'll tell her you love her, while smearing her mascara trying to remove last night's tears and this year's heartbreak. The most difficult decision is choosing who to love and who not to. The look of distress plastered to your face because I could not give you the world, for you are your own internally. Crushing waves in your lungs because cold air is easier to breathe and the taste of salt from your tears caresses my lips. You are so brilliant, truly remarkable. And no Van Gogh painting can mount up to the beauty of our love because Starry Night cannot compare to the stars I get to look up at with you. But I'll still lose you. I don't want to let you go, but my hands have rope burn and you won't be there to kiss my blisters. There are vast canyons between your ribs and uncertainty and your shaky fingertips. The embers are burning low now and my eyes are getting glossy. In the midst of our troubles, hands pressed against spiderweb cracked windows, admiring the first snowfall together. Coffee-stained birthmarks and scarred skin with offbeat pulses. I smell misery on your jacket and her cheap perfume from her great aunt. Broken love in the hearts of lonely people, mended with enigma stardust painted across the night sky, and shattered expectations for thinking I could keep you around for a while.
And up next, for another lovely poet, ladies and gentlemen, please clap for Will Johnson! Love is an impact, and this is for the folks who felt it hit them like the F train while the man preaching Jesus is riding shotgun. For those who have felt that as though God was manhandling them like a heavenly plaything in his messed up version of Full House. And for those who aren't ready to burst, but are pretty damn ready to burst, yeah, for them, maybe you. But mostly for those who felt their souls snake its way through their mouths agape and stuff their hearts into their stomach. Like emotional plungers pressing whatever chemical surging through their brain through to their knees when I set upon other. Upon he, she, and what's believed to complete them like gatekeeper and key master. If you're cool with love, being Zool in this particular situation. Profession of love to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in our real selves, being hideous red-eyed dogs, what we are on the inside. This is an homage to boy chasing boy, girl chasing boy, boy chasing girl, girl chasing girl. And if you're Clint Eastwood, boy chasing chair, for those who are indeed sexy and they know it. For the midnight lovers, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere, mistakes gone without a trace, except for the sour taste of humbling regret, festering at the tip of your tongue, gone.
Yeah.
And at this time, I'd like to introduce our final poet of episode 1. Would you please press your palms together for Paige Tyler!
Disney movies will always be my favorites, but even they have a fatal flaw. They taught me that those who don't quite meet beauty standards should always be loathed, and now I fall asleep wondering if my friends hate me. I've never been the pretty friend, but I could be the beautiful one, the girl with personality seeping from every pore who sees everyone as a masterpiece. I could be a poet, a painter, and author, sewing the seams of our imaginations to dreams of unrealistic love. My body is a landscape. No one can criticize the mountains that are my hip bones for being too large, or the valleys between my ribs that wind around my lungs for being too vast. Scenery shouldn't be shielded by baggy sweaters. My teeth tear at the cliffs of my lips like wind, and the canyon between the two is where you should be. I want you so close that I can breathe you in, that I can feel my chest melting to yours like hot candle wax, but for now, I'll sneak glances at you across crowded hallways. I'll etch your name so deep onto the tip of my tongue that I will never quite forget it. I'll tell myself I'm a child. I'm pathetic, unworthy of acceptance, and I am a child. But I grew up too fast. Years slipping through my fingers like the cracks in the sidewalk, absorbing into what we used to be. At 10, I picked insecurities instead of apples because I've been taught to beat myself down since I was born, and I feel so much older than this. And I'd give anything to go back to the days when I was 5, when I wasn't weighed down with the weight of all that I know, when boys didn't know how to say things like, maybe you could do this, if you were hot. But to all the all-knowing, all-powerful douchebag boys who tell me I will go nowhere without breasts perfectly curved, without hair long and running, kissing the shore of my back, I'm not supposed to be hot. I'm supposed to be beautiful, and I am. The tears that drip from my eyes, concealed like midnight shadows, could be watercolors flowing across my pad. They will create rivers and streams that will wash off the makeup that I don't have to wear for you. I will mend broken heartstrings and play them like a guitar. I will sing songs of how I tell my friend she's beautiful every night, so she won't have to feel like I did. So she won't have to feel like something will look bad on her before she's tried it on. Like she shouldn't be allowed to breathe the same air as this misled society, because it took me 14 years to realize that I can be beautiful and smart and confident, and everything in between, but only if I'm confident. I will hold my head high, strut with only the best posture, and wear only the proudest grin. Because we all know what it's like to feel ugly. But we aren't ugly at all. We're just insecure.
Give it up! Yay! One more big round of applause for all the lovely poets. This concludes episode 1 of our Write Out Loud open mic series. But before we sign off, we need to give a major shout out to our sponsor, Young at Art, which is the nonprofit organization that supports everything that we do. You can catch us there every third Wednesday of every month, or every last Friday of every month for our open mic or slam competitions. Young at Art is located in Manchester, Connecticut on 50 Purnell Street, and we look forward to seeing you there. You can check out more at youngatart.org. We also want to give a major shout out to you, the audience, our magnificent audience, for tuning in and connecting with us. Please tune in next week for more poems, peace, and love. Write a poem, plant a seed, watch it grow from a bud to a tree. Peace.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! All right. Let's